It's looking good.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Yes, thank you. Okay, Fran, yes, you were saying about the neighbourhood development plan.
Yes,
and the bit about the green spaces.
Yes.
I've just got one little question, if I may ask. On the bit where it said about the Rollsby ponds, and then there was a bit about Tower Road. I didn't quite understand the bit on the corner, and it says the ownership, and it says Borough Homes, but then it says private ownership. So are they three separate entities? I don't quite understand.
So my conversation with Louise was that she was of the impression that that it's the drainage ditch, you know, that directly sits adjacent to the road. And at the moment, our most up-to-date information says it's owned by Borough Homes, and nothing to do as yet with the new development that's going on site.
Okay.
So that, yes, that's who we contacted about that.
Okay, but it said private ownership as well, so I wasn't sure whether that meant there was someone else involved. Or
No, sorry, I think it's one and the same. I think it's probably the wording.
Okay, all right, thank you. Frank, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I think that's definitely Borough Homes. I think that covers the site. They're using it as a drainage ditch from the site, so that's got to be good with the site. And also, I'd like to ask Fran who the working party. That she states that all the working party have been approved, been consulted.
So the working.
Like we were told, June, you were part of the working party, I was part of the working party, and so was Richard. And none of the rest of you know anything about it.
As far as I'm aware, the working party are members of the public who have directly requested to be part of all communication and given over their contact information. I haven't received anything from yourself, Frank, or June hasn't requested email information.
I've had mine from Louise because I was dealing with her. I was, had to speak about a few issues, so I got mine.
Nobody's asked me for anything, but we were told at a meeting that we were part of the working party. That was a meeting where there was only about 8 or 9 of us there.
Yeah, that meeting you came to, Frank, that was a working group meeting, but you didn't leave your email information after to be put.
You asked mine umpteen times a day.
Sorry?
And you could telephone me, couldn't you?
I don't have any of your contact information, and under GDPR, I can't come forward to you. You have to offer it yourself.
Well, you could contact me. My telephone number's in the directory.
Okay, well,
it's not necessary for me to do that. I'm not going to chase you to join the working group. Anyway, we're moving. I don't want to detract. This is going off point. June?
Yes,
I don't want to lose the point of this topic.
No.
So basically, what you see in front of you on page 4 and 5 are the sort of general consensus of the working group, and it was all largely in support of adopting all of the local green spaces, apart from the woodland that was at the back of
Philipby Church.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Philipby Church, because we felt that Louise pointed out that there was other protection afforded to that area, and also it was felt that we didn't want this process to strain relations or anything like that.
Okay, thank you. Richard, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, I'd just like to ask, I mean, in January, there's all this rush to get this through, and now the middle of March, the bit of paper that was put before us, you hadn't got permission to print some of this stuff. Why was that?
What permission?
Well, to print some of this people's land and that, you had to get permission, didn't you?
That was
in your document. That wasn't done, was it? No, you
That was in parallel.
Pardon?
That was in parallel with the handover process. It was being conducted in the handover process. It doesn't change the policies of the
I
document.
just wondered why that wasn't done before. Why wasn't that done before?
Well, it was done at the stage that it was appropriate to do it at after the consultation period. But it wasn't to do with the policies of the document itself.
No, but that's now been done. This thing haven't been put into the town hall, have it? You now had to do it since January.
But it will be going to the town
You've
hall.
got some permissions and you've got some that aren't.
I don't know what the point is.
Yes, but I think, sorry, Richard, I think, sorry, Frank, the point is that it has, no, sorry, it's Richard who was speaking, that they've had their opportunity to write back. If they haven't made any comments, which has been put on the sheet, we know they haven't made any comments.
Now, I'm asking why that wasn't done before that paper was put up to us in January.
Well, this process tends to be done in parallel because, as June said, it gives the landowners time to respond, and
yeah, but why
we can consider.
Why weren't these letters sent out in the last year to ask if you could print it?
Well, whatever the reason is, I think we need to move on with it. If not, we'll not get through this agenda. I hear what you're saying, Richard, but we are where we are. The letters have gone to them now, haven't they, Fran? As long as
Yes, everyone has been contacted. What you see now is the last. This is the final part of this process.
I'm asking why that wasn't done before that meeting in January. Why wasn't that done last year?
Because it hadn't gone through the consultation period.
Did you know that had to be done? That you had to get permission to print some of that stuff?
Yeah, I've been working with Louise on this, so all my...
Right, okay, well, we can minute it, I think, can't we, what Richard is saying, but at the end of the day, we are...
And also, I would like to say, June, I take exception to being attacked every time we come to this topic. This was a unanimous decision to adopt the neighbourhood development plan, and I put myself forward, and it was agreed that I could lead this under the guidance of Louise and Mark, which we got the funding for that I applied for. This is not my document, and I'm not going to be spoken to in such a rude manner every time I present on this.
Okay, thank you, Fran.
Presented right.
Frank.
Yeah, I would like to make another proposition on the change on the NDP, that's changed from 2-bedroom or fewer to 3-bedroom or fewer.
No, it's not possible to do that, Frank. Sorry, what we're looking at now is the local green spaces, and I would like to propose that what Louise has put together here and what the working group members have said, the parish council support.
Still do that.
Sorry?
Why isn't it possible to do it now? Why isn't it
possible?
Because
the parish council at the last meeting approved the policies in the document.
Yeah, well, we'll unapprove it.
Well,
June, can we kind of keep this on track?
Yes. I know we have spoken, it's been brought up every time about this 2 to 1 house or 3 to 2. Is it something that can be, because when Louise was on at the last meeting, it was talked about?
No. Yes, but we've approved the policies of the document. What we're looking at now is the local green spaces. I am proposing that we accept the document as it is, and the parish council approve the local green spaces as advised by Louise and Mark, and as with the input from the working group members.
Okay, well, it's got
nothing to do with the policies in the plan now. That's done. And the thing is, it's not, the policies were supported by the community. They were developed in working group meetings. They were developed from the feedback from the community. It's not just a few people making these up.
No, well, maybe we should note what Councillor Brown's opinion is on that about the...
Councillor Brown could lead the update when it's due next on the neighbourhood development plan.
Right, thank you. Councillor Peake, you've got your hand up.
I'll second Fran's proposal. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keith Osborne.
That's okay. Done deal.
Okay.
So the proposal, let me get this straight, is to support the neighbourhood development plan document as is. Is that correct, Fran?
Yes, that's right. So thanks, Jimmy. The table on pages 4 and 5, well, the document that Louise sent out that was distributed to the councillors, to support the local green spaces as in this document.
Okay, so to support the local green spaces within document, June, for or against?
4.
Keith, for or against?
4.
JR, for or against? Oh, you're abstaining, sorry. Sean, for or against?
4. 4.
Thank you.
Hello? 4.
Yeah, fine. Richard, for or against?
Against.
Frank, for or against?
Against.
And John Walsh, for or against?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Motion carried.
Thank you. Okay, so anything more to say on that, Fran, or do we move on? That now goes to Great Yarmouth Borough Council, is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I will confirm with Louise the next steps, but that's my understanding, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll move on to item 10, footpath Broad Road, Fleggburgh. This is similar to when Anglian Water asked Fleggburgh Parish Council about their views on a planning application before it came official. So do we have, is it Mr. Rogers who was involved in this item on the agenda, Jimmy? Jimmy? Hello?
Sorry, I've muted myself. I'm now looking for Danny Rogers. He's Danny.
I'm here,
Yep.
Jimmy. Yes, I'm
Okay.
here.
Yes, sorry, so you've got this on the agenda, so how can we help? What was it you wanted to say?
Yes, so basically I recently acquired last April the bungalow just off Broad Road, and it came with a front small plot of land as well, which is separating the front plot to the main plot by a path which we thought was originally a public footpath, but is actually transpired to be an old cart track, as picked up by one of your councillors last Zoom meeting. That has been confirmed by the Norfolk County Council, which, of course, whether it's a path or track, it's about relocating it to the outside perimeter of the plot, allowing me to join the front plot with the main plot. And put that small plot to some use, if you like, by having a front garden. So basically, Norfolk County Council advised to seek approval from the parish before proceeding with a formal application.
Okay, thank you. I thought there was some involvement with other people who you were going to speak to them about who owns the other part of the land or has access to it.
Well,
So,
yeah, I've spoken to the son of Mr. and Mrs. Shreves, who lives in Rose Cottage. So basically, they don't own their access to Rose Cottage. I think it's something to do with Broad Farm owning that land, and they had a worry or concern that it could be reclaimed at some point, albeit, you know, if they've got a right of way, I think it's hard to take that away from them. But if that is the case, the son of Mr. and Mrs. Shreves has asked again to reinstate the track. So if in the future they ever lose their access by Broad Farm reclaiming their land, they would then have a secondary access and right of way via the track that I put in for them.
okay, thank you. Frank, you've got your hands up.
Yeah, I was just going to confirm what Mr. Rogers said, and David Shreves Senior and them are quite happy with what has been done now.
Okay, thank you. Andrew, your hand is up.
Chair, could you please make it clear to all that standing orders are suspended whilst you allow Danny to speak? It's great, it's marvellous that a member of the public has come up to speak, but in order for him to address the council, you have to suspend standing orders, as I'm sure you know.
Well, Yes, I suppose I do know. I just assumed that that would be okay. But yes, we can stand the standing orders down to speak. Mr. Rogers, thank you very much for speaking to us. I'm not sure at this stage whether we do actually have to take a vote or whether Mr. Rogers is really just updating us with how far he's got. So, Mr. Rogers.
Am I allowed to speak? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so basically, I guess the Norfolk County Council are just saying, you know, if you sought approval first from the likes of the parish, it makes the formal application a little easier at that stage. So it was just highlighting the parish in terms of what I would like to do. I've also provided an artist's impression of what it would look like as well. So it's just giving you as much information so when the formal application does come through, you know, you're well aware of it.
Okay, thank you very much for that help. Thank you. Right, okay, so I think we can move on then to, sorry, Sean, did you have your hand up? Yes, you did.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if we are going to get any correspondence from Norfolk County Council, you know, given evidence that this is just or was just a track, because you know, it's down on the definitive map as a public right of way.
Yeah, that's correct. That's reference to FP8, and up until the last parish meeting, you know, I was referring to it as a path as well as I was originally told. But it was one of the members of this meeting last month that suggested it was a track, and then after speaking to the Shreve's son David, he also said it was an old cart track. So I thought I'd better get that checked out. Went back to the Norfolk County Council and they got a map from 1905 confirming it is a track with a picture of it, obviously. And I've offered to forward that correspondence to Jimmy if you need to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be great to see that. Yeah, please.
No problem. I'll forward it.
Thank you.
So we're moving on now to number 11, Pipistrel Management Responsibilities. I believe John Clark had asked for this to be put on the agenda. Is John Clark here tonight? Yes.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'll stand now. Standing orders down, so you may speak, John. Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I was trying to get my photo up, but I couldn't get myself on video there. Yeah. Good evening. Very quickly, I have actually, since this went on the agenda, I have emailed Jimmy today, asking that we hold this subject over until the next meeting because it is still subject to various ongoing investigations. So I'm not really in a position at the moment to discuss that subject, but I'd like to hold it over if that's possible.
Okay, thank you, John. I would just say that I had got this ready to say tonight, and so I will just advise you, I don't know if you know this or not, but we had a parish council meeting Thursday the 19th of January 2017, and in the minutes under planning, which was planning Z, it says, I will read it out, gift of land to parish. A site meeting was held with the developer, Josh Brooks, and the chairman, who at the time I believe was Frank Brown, June Pratt, Richard Sewell, David Woolard and Hayden Thurtle. The land was offered with no cost to the parish and it will be maintained with no cost to the parish. Hayden Thurtle added that any future application to build on the land, for every house 40 square metres would be given to the parish. The pond, the size of which will be increased, will be fenced off. So I just wanted you to know that that was passed in 2017, and as far as I know, that is what stands at the moment. But just for the record, really. Okay, so if you want it on the agenda another month, by all means.
Yeah, I'll contact Jimmy. That's interesting. I mean, I obviously wasn't aware of the content of those minutes of that meeting. Yeah. Is there any way I can get a copy of that?
Yeah, they'll be on the website, on our website. It was
They'll be
January
on.
19th of January 2017.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, I thought that might help. I don't know whether it will, but anyway. Okay, so we're moving on then to number 12. That the Fleggburgh Parish Council condemned the use of the waste grounds at Lawns Lane, Rollesby as a commercial waste dumping waste incineration site. Andrew, I think you've asked for this to be put on the agenda. I understand that you have complained to both the Borough Council and the Environment Agency. I noticed yesterday that Catherine in Fleggburgh advised you to contact Crime Stoppers. I don't know if you've done that at all.
Have you reinstated standing orders, June?
Yes, I'll reinstate standing orders. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you. My proposal is simply that this parish council condemns the transportation to Fleggburgh and the burning of waste in Fleggburgh. I was in error when I quoted that this place is in Rollesby. It turns out on closer examination of the map that it is actually in Fleggburgh, and it's been going on for some time. And I have made a number of complaints, and I think that the investigation of various bodies are ongoing. But I would simply like that this parish council states its condemnation of burning of waste in Fleggburgh. So that is my proposal.
Thank you. Frank, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I agree with Andrew that we condemn the waste, but I think that should now be left to the powers of be, which would be the Environment Agency, I assume, to sort it out, because I doubt if the Borough Council want to know.
Right.
And if that's been Andrew's reported it, he's taken photographs and sent it all in, that should be sufficient. I don't think they don't need to say that the parish council condemn it, because of course we do.
Right, thank you. Keith Osborne, your hand is up.
I was only going to suggest we ask Hayden as a county councillor and Adrian as borough councillor if they would take this matter up more forcibly, because it seems to be going on for a long while for the amount of litter, rubbish that's being stored on the site, and something needs to be done with it. It's a terrible situation.
Okay, thank you, Keith. I'll stand the standing orders down, and Hayden, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. This has been an ongoing problem that was reported in 2020 when I contacted Great Yarmouth Borough Council concerning the dumping there. Great Yarmouth Borough Council carried out some research and felt it was too great for them to deal with, because it was beyond mere tipping and dumping of rubbish, and it appeared to be commercial. It was then transferred to the Environmental Agency to look at. The Environmental Agency done I'll call it here, desktop investigation and resulted in no action by them. I subsequently received a number of other complaints, so I've gone back to the Environment Agency, who now said that they will investigate. I've also brought this to the attention of our MP due to the serious nature, and he has contacted the Environment Agency also, well, his agent has contacted the Environment Agency, asking for continued updates on what is happening there. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Hayden. Frank, you've got your hand up again.
Yeah, can Hayden tell us on what grounds the Environment Agency thought that weren't following up? They must have given some reason that they weren't going to follow up. Are you still there?
Hayden,
I'm just trying to unmute myself. Yeah, I agree. The Great Yarmouth Borough Council felt that it was commercial, and when the Environment Agency, all they done basically was a desktop examination, which I think they probably looked at Google and some photographs that Great Yarmouth Borough Council took. they did not really examine it in sufficient detail, apparently, and they've now gone back and to reassess that and to reevaluate it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the question is, are we going to wait to see the outcome of this? Or are we doing what Andrew suggests as saying that we want to make it clear that we don't agree with this? Well, I think none of us agree with what's happening. Some of us didn't even know it was happening, to be quite honest. Some people don't even know where it is. But we've got two hands up again. Keith and Frank are both.
I think Frank was first.
Frank, okay. So we'll resume the standing orders as they were.
Yeah,
Frank,
good.
I'm getting up with these up and down. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I propose that as been discussed, we condemn it. Let's move on. We've got to be here all night. We can't do nothing about it. It's up to environmental people to do it now, and that's.
So we have it minuted, you mean?
Yeah.
But Keith, what's your opinion?
I prefer a vote, but long as it's minuted that the parish council totally condemn such activity down Lawns Lane.
Yeah. Okay. So Jimmy, is that okay for you to minute?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can minute it for the whole of Fleggburgh if you like, because there shouldn't be any dumping anywhere in Fleggburgh, should there?
No, there shouldn't be. No, okay. Oh, Councillor Peake again.
Fran has had her hand up for some time.
I'm sorry. Oh, I think hers isn't working. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I've lost mine.
Yeah. Yes, Fran.
No, I was only going to second if we were voting on a vote, because I think Andrew proposed it and then Frank proposed it as well. So I thought I'd second that we should condemn it and vote on it. But if we're just, it's fine if we're just commenting that we do condemn it.
Right. So, Jimmy, should we take a vote on it then, as we've got a proposer and a seconder?
Okay. So the proposer was Andrew. Were you the proposer?
Yes, I believe you was.
Okay. Thank you. So proposed and seconded by Fran. So motion is Fleggburgh Parish Council condemn the use of waste ground at Lawns Lane, Rollsby Road as a commercial waste dumping, waste incineration site. June, for or against?
For.
Keith, for or against?
For.
JR, for or against? JR? I seem to have lost him. Sean, for or against?
For.
Richard, for or against?
Abstain.
Abstain, thank you. Frank, for or against?
For.
And John Walsh, for or against?
For.
Motion carried, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so we're now moving on to 13 gateway signs, where to position them. There are two for Fleggburgh on the A1064 and one for Clipsby on the B1152 and one for Billetby on the A1064. I presume these gateway signs are near to showing themselves, so we must have got them. Oh, Keith, yes, you've got your hand up.
Sorry, June, I disagree with the numbers you've just quoted. Back in November 2019, it was agreed that there should be 2 signs on entering Billetby from the Acle direction, and 2 signs for entering Fleggburgh from the Filby direction, and 2 signs in Clippersby from the Reps direction. Has there been a motion previous to change that?
Well, to be truthful, I don't know that there's been any other application, but that's the notes I've got written down. Jimmy, are you able to enlighten us at all on that?
Yeah, to be honest, my understanding was that it was the gateway, there was two sets. One, I believe, one set was for coming in and out of Fleggburgh, and I believe the other one was for coming into Clipsby on the B1152, and one for coming into Billockby on the A1064. But that is my memory, which might not be perfect.
We could perhaps ask Adrian Thompson on this if I stand.
You have to stand orders down. Can I speak?
Yes, that's what I was then going to do. Yes, Keith, you speak first. Yes.
If I go then move on, that was in November 2019 meeting. Then in September 2020, it was discussed again, and the gateway signage has been, but in 6 weeks behind due to COVID-19. What do we know? I don't ever recall deciding what style of gateway we were going to have. Has that been decided, or what have we ordered? And how many?
I'll stand the orders down and ask Adrian to speak, because I think he was quite involved with this. Adrian, are you there? Adrian?
Yep, just on mute. Yep.
Yes,
thank you, Mr. Chairman. You are, from what I can remember, I just didn't check the records. There's three sets. There's one as you enter Billockby on the causeway there, where you enter the speed sign on the causeway there. That's the Billockby set. There's two signs, so I say set. The set at Clipsby, as you rightfully say, somewhere near Church Luke, the speed and signs there. And one as you enter Fleggburgh from the Acle side. They are three sets. There was a choice of, I don't know what they've proposed for Fleggburgh, but they're like gates either side. But what you do need to sort out is your wording. We had a letter from NCC to Fleggburgh Parish Council saying, what wording would you like? For instance, welcome to Fleggburgh, please slow down. And without opening a can of worms, the Billockby and Clipsby one, at the moment you've got welcome to Clipsby with Fleggburgh underneath. Do you want that to continue? I think you should personally. The same with the Billockby one, and the same with Fleggburgh, where you welcome to Borough St Margaret underneath Fleggburgh, without opening a can of worms where we live. I mean, but you do need to get back to Norfolk County Council with your wording. But the position is what I then said: the Billockby ones, the Clipsby ones, and the Fleggburgh ones. So you've got three sets of two is what you got coming.
Three sets of two. Okay, so we've got two things to decide then. We've got to decide what we're having written actually on them, and the exact position, or what you're saying is would they?
Well, really, with the Billockby one really will go where the speed sign starts, where they are now. Replace those ones. The Clipsby ones, I'll be advised by Keith on that. You obviously that speeding bit on those bends near Church Lane there.
My idea, where the existing village sign is on the Reps Road, they should go there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. But have we
the Fleggburgh ones near Manor Farm? Just you come into Fleggburgh near Manor Farm. The position is okay. You just need to sort the word County Council with your wording. But yeah, they're just about ready to go. I think as you said, we're way behind on this, because you remember we've also applied for the SAM 2 as well for this year's precept. That is behind as well, because they ain't even met yet. Police people haven't even met yet.
Right.
So we need to take this first. So you just need to sort the wording out. So welcome to Borough St Margaret Fleggburgh, if that's what you want. But that's something you need to sort out now, please.
Okay, so let's sort out the wording then. That's the main thing, isn't it? I think so. For Fleggburgh, what are the suggestions we have then? Welcome to. Are we having just Fleggburgh? Are we having Fleggburgh underneath Borough St Margaret, or the other way round?
I suggest we have Fleggburgh, and if you want Borough St Margaret in brackets, fair enough. But the place is Fleggburgh. We live in Fleggburgh.
Okay, Keith, you've got your hand up again.
Well, I would say that if I revert to the village sign outside of the village hall, that sign says Borough St Margaret. So where do we live in Borough St Margaret? Or, we live
in Fleggburgh.
Now, so why I'd like to see something in black and white that says it's Fleggburgh, not Borough St Margaret. All the maps say Borough St Margaret. The village sign, that I wasn't in the village at that time, but whoever allowed it to be built, it was quite clear that it was Borough St Margaret. I think we just need to continue with the signs as they are.
Okay, so there's people with a lot of hands up here. Can I just go through some? So John Walsh, your hand is up.
A quick question: are there going to be no signs going the other way, for example, from Philby into Fleggburgh along the main road?
Doesn't sound like it at the moment, does it?
Not on this batch, John. No, that we spent the money on the 3 sets. We felt the speed coming, because you're coming out of Philby, which is a 30. We felt the speed coming that way wasn't as bad as it was coming in from the Acreway. So at this stage, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
thank you.
Sorry. Okay. Can I respond quickly?
Yeah.
My experience is that once they come over the bridge at Philby, it's put down and it's like a Le Mans start. They all want to build their speed up, and by the time they go past Baldwin Sports Club in towards the village, you know, they're all doing in excess of 40, and maybe that'll slow them down again. I don't know, it's just my observation.
Okay.
Got your hands up, and then Fran.
I think that the Fleggburgh one should be Fleggburgh, not Borough St Margaret whatsoever. Our postal address is Fleggburgh, and that's what it should be. Borough St Margaret was Borough St Margaret hundreds of years ago, not at the present time.
Right, thank you.
Just be Fleggburgh.
Okay, thank you, Richard. Fran.
Thank you. I think to be consistent with the road signs in the area, we should have Borough St Margaret's with Fleggburgh in brackets underneath, as are the road signs for the area.
Right, okay. Andrew, your hand is up. We've only got 3 minutes left. Sorry, carry on, sir. Yeah.
The agenda item is where to place the gateway signs, not the wording.
Right, okay. Well, we have discussed the area of where they're going. So we'll come back to that in a minute, but I'm saying we've actually got less than 3 minutes left before the whole meeting finishes. So if we can't resolve this tonight, we're going to have to look at it next time. Okay, so that to say we've got Keith Osborne.
Oh, just before we close again, we did have some email exchanges that Sean requested we have 3 Zoom meetings, which if we have 3 Zoom meetings, it is then in line with our standing orders that says a meeting should not last more than 2 hours. We keep having these meetings with two sessions, and we never complete, very rarely complete, which I think we're totally letting our parishioners down in not being able to complete our business. I suggest we continue with 3 meetings in the future.
Right, okay, so we're moving on to another subject now. So Frank, your hand is up.
Yeah, I think if we had half as much rubbish, we'd get through it in one.
Right, thank you. Richard, you've got your hand up again.
I just wonder who's running the meeting. Is it Councillor Peake or is it us, the other councillors? That's he keeps starting things. We'd be a lot quicker if he didn't keep butting in.
Okay, so on the agenda it does say about the position of them. Can I ask Jimmy, sort out the names that's going to go on, and we're not going to get that done in a minute, and I think we have to do this properly and fairly, and obviously there is discrepancy, we're not all agreeing in it. The way forward. Adrian, you've got your hand up again.
Just a quick one. We agreed the positions. I think you need to call another fairly quick meeting. It's not delayed yet again. That's already been bad enough being delayed tonight because we can't discuss it. So can we call another meeting fairly quick to sort this wording out, please?
Okay, thank you. So Jimmy, and also we're going to need to know about the planning applications, aren't we, when we get notice of those, if we have an extension or not. So I mean, I don't know what we're going to take a vote on really, because we've got different proposals. Some want Fleggburgh, some want Borough St Margaret.
No, you can't vote on it. You can't vote.
No,